Math time, here we go. All right, page 194, I believe, but it's problem 7 on the chapter 4 test review. A group of 140 tourists are going on tour. The tour guide rents 15 vans. Each van holds 9 tourists. Okay, so 140 tourists, each van holds 9 tourists. Write a division problem. Okay, so we need a division problem with an equal sign. So something divided by something equals something. That can be used to find the number of vans needed to carry the tourists and then solve it. Well, there's only 3 numbers here, so we got to choose which 2 are we dividing. Well, we always want to have the total So the total number of tourists are 140 tourists divided by not the number of vans they have, but how much each van holds. Okay, that will tell us how many vans we need. This just tells us the tour guide already rented 15 vans, but he may have rented the wrong amount. We don't know. We need to find out how many they need. So each van holds 9 people. There's 140 people. Divide them into groups of 9, right? Each group of 9 will ride a van. And then we do that division problem. So let's go ahead and do that. 140 divided by 9. 9 can't go into 1, but it can go into 14. 9 goes into 14 one time. 1 times 9 is 9. Subtract. That gives me 5. Bring down. 9 goes into 50. 5 times. 5 times 9 is 45. Subtract. Gives me 5. So 15 remainder, 5. 15 remainder 5. So here my answer to my division problem that I wrote, 15 remainder 5. So it's part 1 says write a division problem, so that's what I did, and then solve it, and I did that as well. Here's the answer to it, 15 remainder 5. Now part B, what does the remainder mean in the context of this problem? Basically, we have to interpret this remainder. Well, if there's 140 people, 9 people on each van, then we need 15 vans, but this remainder 5 means there's, of these 140 people, 5 of them are left behind. So imagine that 140 people are standing outside their hotel waiting to go on this tour. 15 vans pull up, 9 people get on each van, and then there's 5 people left over that say, hey, there's no room for us on any of these vans. So what that means is there are 5 people with no ride. That's all it means. It means there's going to be 5 people left over that don't get to go on this tour. All right, part C, how can you use your answer to determine if the tour guide rented enough vans? Explain. Well, we already did that here. He rented 15 vans. But we know if you rent 15 vans, you're going to have 5 people with no ride. So did he rent enough vans? No. There's 5 people that are going to be really mad at him. And they're probably going to tell him, you need to get another van here. So he should have rented 16 vans. Now that 16th van is not going to have 9 people in it. It's only going to have the 5, but then at least everybody gets to go. So how can you use your answer to determine if the tour guide rented enough vans? No, he should have rented 16 vans, and I know this because there is a remainder 5. I know this because there is a remainder of 5. So in this particular problem, I need to add 1 to the quotient. The original quotient was 15. Because of the way we have to interpret this remainder, I have to add 1 to that, meaning we need 16 vans instead of 15. All right, number 8. Again, this is a basic division problem. 8 goes into 32 4 times. I ignored 2 zeros, so I add 2 zeros. Let's do another one like that, though. Let's say it's 450 divided by 5. I just look at those first 2 numbers. 5 goes into 45 9 times. I ignored just 1 zero this time, so it's going to be 90. Let's do another example. Let's do 4,000 divided by 10. Now this one's you got to pay attention when they have one number with all zeros behind it, because now 10 can't go into 4. We have to use the 40. 10 can go into 40 4 times, but then we can't add all 3 of these zeros because I used one of these zeros when I looked at the number 40. So really I only ignored 2 zeros, so I add 2 zeros to the end, and it becomes 400. Okay, so again, they're going to use different numbers on the actual test, but you do the same process each time. Whatever zeros you ignore, those are the zeros you add. If you used one of those zeros, only add the zeros you ignore. Okay, all right, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.